The Justice League has vanished, along with Sonic's entire universe. But hope isn't lost. Team Sonic has emerged through the dimensional rift, ready to fill the void and confront the villains threatening this world. Welcome to the Comic Story and Complete Story series, where we bring your favorite comic books to life through audio dramas, helping you discover which stories deserve a spot in your collection. Today, we continue the epic DCX Sonic the Hedgehog crossover with Issue 3 by Ian Flynn. Enjoy the ride. He spots the emerald. I need to report this to the others, Silver mutters, already activating his communicator. I'll have another Earth Lantern cover for me, maybe Kyle, Hal, Guy, Simon, Jessica, Joe. He trails off. Honestly, there are too many Earth Lanterns to name. The ground. Were you trying to poison me thinking this was kryptonite? He growls, standing over Luor. They can now return to their home. The question is, should they? Shadow growls, a low, threatening sound that draws startled glances from the others. If our world survived, then so did the darkness. Opening a way home leaves this planet exposed to invasion, he warns. Knuckles shakes his head. The League was ready to lay down their lives for this world. They would take the risk. They'd come to save us, no matter what it cost. It's not a matter of if we're doing this, it's how fast we can start, he declares. Green Lantern gave this to me before we entered the portal. Does this mean I've been recruited? Silver asks. Mister? Terrific nods, his voice steady. It means John Stewart trusted you. He looks at them all. But if you're gonna be the Justice League, you've got to dress the part. And so, the heroes of Sonic's world begin their mission to protect the Earth they found themselves stranded on. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months. Eventually, Silver finds himself battling alongside the Green Lantern Corps in the chaotic depths of Space Sector 2006, locked in fierce combat with a towering yellow dragon construct summoned by Sinestro. The Tyrant's voice echoes with menace. Afraid to call for backup, or do you fear what my newfound power will do to the rest of your precious Green Lantern Corps? With a triumphant sneer, Sinestro raises his yellow power battery high, unleashing a cataclysmic surge of energy that blasts the lanterns back. The shockwave stuns them all except Silver. He rises, eyes narrowed, focus sharpening as his ring pulses with renewed strength. Channeling sheer will, he begins to speak, voice firm and rising. In brightest day, in blackest night. The others join him, their voices uniting in defiance. No evil shall escape our sight. Let those who W prosper sent. Beware our power. Green Lantern's light, they shout, channeling their energy into a colossal rocket hammer that towers above Sinestro. His eyes widen in fear as the glowing weapon crashes down, obliterating the dragon construct and leaving him stunned. In a flash, the lanterns close in, subduing Sinestro and seizing his new, dangerously potent power battery. It's Chip who discovers the strange source fueling Ida Crystal unlike any they've seen. A Chaos Emerald? Silver breathes, frozen in shock. That was supposed to be lost with my home dimension. I have to report this to my friends. I'll have one of the other Earth Lanterns cover for me. Kyle, Hal, Guy, Simon, Jessica, Joe, there are too many to count. Silver begins to explain, brushing it off like it's no big deal. They've got this. You'd think a tactical genius like you would know better than to let his guard down, Amy growls, standing tall in her Wonder Woman armor. The League kneels to no one. With a thunderous cry, she slams her hammer into Grodd's stomach, knocking the wind from his lungs. As the giant falls, Supergirl and Hawkgirl spring into action, quickly dispatching the last of Grodd's minions. Victory crackles in the air, but then Amy's eyes narrow. Grodd's fallen crown pulses with a strange, ethereal glow. Hawkgirl raises her mace, ready to destroy it, but Amy stops her. Wait! That's a Chaos Emerald! She shouts, snatching the crown and tearing the jewel free. She holds it up, its energy flickering in her palm. Look at this, she says, locking eyes with Hawkgirl. It's from my home, she whispered, eyes wide with wonder. I thought everything there was gone. Amy burst into a joyful cheer. Me? All these bald geniuses are the same? Knuckles mutters to himself. In a flash, he rockets across the skyline, slamming into the wall outside Luor's office with a thunderous crash. The evil genius steps out onto the balcony, lips curled into a smirk. Slower than a speeding bullet, and about as subtle as a locomotive, Luor muses. Knuckles isn't in the mood for sarcasm. He demands answers. Why did Luthor call him here? Without missing a beat, Luthor lifts a box into view, his voice calm and calculating. He didn't summon Knuckles for a fight, wants to strike a deal. Together, he says, they could make the city and the world safer than he and Superman ever could. But Knuckles just shakes his head firm. I've heard this speech before. Just know I'll be watching you, Luthor, he growls. Lex only shrugs and opens the box. revealing a glowing green gem. What a pity! You share the Kryptonian's moral weaknesses. Curious, do you share his weaknesses too? Luthor asked, stepping in with the jewel glinting in his hand, making Knuckles gasp. Hey, you found a Chaos Emerald. You finally did something right, Luthor, Knuckles said, reaching out and snatching it. Lex's eyes widened for a split second as nothing happened. No surge, no collapse, but he quickly masked the surprise with a smirk. Yes, take it as a token of sincerity. Think hard about what more we could do together, Luthor told him. Without another word, Knuckles turned, vaulted over the edge, and glided into the sky. But moments later, he crashes back through the window, slamming Luor to the ground. Were you trying to poison me, thinking this was kryptonite? He growls, standing over him. Shadow glared down at the clown, his expression cold and unflinching. He reached out and tore the Chaos Emerald from the flower pinned to the Joker's chest, narrowing his eyes as its light shimmered in his palm. Elsewhere, in Central City, Sonic blazed through the streets, neck and neck with Reverse Flash. The speedster jeered triumphantly, brandishing a Chaos Emerald of his own. Now I'm the fastest man alive, Thawne crowed. Sonic's eyes locked on the gem. That doesn't belong to you, he snapped. Hand it over, and maybe I'll let this slide. Thawne's grin widened as he shook his head. You're in no position to make demands of me. Shadow locked eyes with the clown, then reached down and tore the Chaos Emerald from the flower on his chest, narrowing his gaze at the gleaming gem. Across Central City, Sonic tore through the streets, locked in a high-speed chase with Reverse Flash, who cackled with triumph. Now I'm the fastest man alive, he shouted. The Chaos Emerald gripped tightly in his hand. That doesn't belong to you, Sonic snapped. Hand it over, and Did I move too fast for you to notice? Let's try that again, Sonic quips, a smirk on his face. In a flash, he's gone, reappearing in a blur of blue lightning as he strikes Thawne a dozen times before the villain can even flinch. Thawne crashes to the ground, stunned. Sirens wail. In the next heartbeat, police swarm in and slap cuffs on the defeated speedster. Dazed, Thawne mutters, "So fast, did he tap into?" No, it wasn't the Speed Force. He was using that emerald to warp, but Sonic's already gone, racing off to rally his team. There's no time to waste. A quick call later, he's speeding toward the Hall of Justice for an emergency meeting. Did I move too fast for you to see? Let's try again. Sonic grins as he vanishes in a blur. In a heartbeat, he's all over Thawne, striking a dozen times before the evil speedster even flinches. Thawne crashes to the ground, stunned. Sirens blare. Moments later, the police slap cuffs on the villain. So fast, did he tap into? Thawne mutters, dazed. It wasn't the Speed Force. He used that emerald, warped. But Sonic's already gone. He's got no time to waste. He's calling in the team. Next stop, Hall of Justice. Did I move too fast for you to see? Let's try again. Sonic smirks, vanishing in a blue blur. In a blink, he strikes Thawne a dozen times, each blow landing before the evil speedster can even twitch. Thawne crashes to the ground, dazed. Sirens wail. Police swarm in, slapping cuffs on the fallen villain. So fast, Thawne mutters, struggling to focus. Did he tap into? No, it wasn't the Speed Force. He used that emerald to warp. But Sonic's already gone, dashing toward the Hall of Justice. He's got a meeting to call. Inside, Tails channels the energy of the Chaos Emeralds they've collected, locking onto a signal leading straight to their home dimension. A flicker, then a full image appears on the hollow screen. The room erupts with cheers. Booyah! I knew it! Our world survived! Tails exclaims, eyes wide with joy. He explains that Darkseid's dimensional engine must have glitched, trapping their world in some sort of pocket dimension. Sonic gives a confident nod. That means we can finally go back. But the moment is shattered by Shadow's low growl. The question isn't if we can, it's if we should. Silence falls. The others turn to him, stunned. If our world made it, he continues, voice cold, then so did Darkseid. And that brings us to the end of issue 3 of the DC Sonic the Hedgehog crossover. So, who is your favorite crossover character? I'm torn between Sonic as the Flash and Knuckles as Superman. Drop your pick in the comments below. If you had a blast, don't forget to like the video and share it with your friends. And hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. I'm Dan with Comic Historian. See you next time. Rest in peace, Ben. And that wraps up issue 3 of the DC Sonic the Hedgehog crossover. Which character mashup stole the spotlight for you? I'm torn between Sonic as the Flash and Knuckles as Superman. Both were epic in their own right. Drop your pick in the comments below. If you had fun watching, give the video a like and share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. I'm Dan from Comic Historian. See you next time. Rest in peace, Ben. And that brings us to the end of issue 3 in the DC Sonic the Hedgehog crossover. Which character mashup stood out to you the most? I'm torn between Sonic as the Flash and Knuckles as Superman. Both were just too cool. Drop your pick in the comments below. If you had fun watching, hit that like button and share it around. Don't forget to subscribe so you're first to know when new videos drop. I'm Dan from Comic Historian. See you next time. Rest in peace, Ben.